This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I hope you're all settling into the new year, and I hope that everything is going well with you all. Today, my first guest is Adam Pohl with the Alpena Area Chamber of Commerce. Hi, Adam.
Hey, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. So I understand you have some fundraiser coming up very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one of our larger events that we hold for the community. We have our annual banquet coming up on February 9th, and it's really just an opportunity for all the our members and businesses to really connect and network, and more importantly, it's an opportunity to really recognize some of the awesome businesses and people in our community. So we have a number of awards that we'll be giving out, and I think we'll have a good crop this year and a fantastic, great applicants that we had.
Well, and you know, in talking with you and your staff, you know, I can really see that the attendance is up this year.
Yeah, right now we have just shy of 600 people registered, so we're still looking to get more. Registration is open until February 1st. Just get a hold of the chamber office, and we'll help you out. But we're excited. It's finally getting back up to where it was previously.
Yeah, and you know, and it's always it's an awesome event just to come and network and talk. I mean, it's kind of a who's who with people in the community and businesses, you know, trying to, you know, coming together for a common goal, and you know, being able to celebrate, like you said, the businesses and people, and you know, I know one of the big things is the award for the Citizen of the Year. Right? Is that that's
really our keynote award. If you could pick one, that's the one that we really want to make sure that we recognize individuals that have really worked hard for the community over a course of years or a business potentially, and really recognize them, make sure that they're, you know, can be appreciated in front of all their peers.
Yeah, you know, and you come and you get fed, and you know, I know there's a cash bar, and you know, just listening to your board and you know, the people that are involved in the chamber up there talking about the businesses and the people, you know, that's got to be pretty inspiring for you to sit back and, you know, I know there's a lot of work, so you're not sitting back very much, but having that opportunity to see your organization, you know, the people that are involved, have them step up and, you know, present these awards.
Absolutely, and you know, our various board members are made up from all over, you know, businesses all over the community, and they all have their area of expertise, and so we're really thrilled that our board is you know, continues to be supportive, and they continue to help out and really recognize other individuals within the community. And then well, I can't say enough good about my staff. Mm-hmm. They're fantastic, and they're, you know, you mentioned hardworking. They are the epitome of hardworking.
Absolutely. I know I talk with Alicia over there all the time, and she's so wonderful. So, you know, I know you probably can't answer this, but you have any sneak peeks on who the Citizen of the Year might be?
Well, you are very right in the fact I can't answer that, but if you come on February 9th, you will find out, and you'll be among the first to know. And I will say this, I think the individual or group is very, very much deserving.
Well, that's they're always deserving, you know. And it's got to be such a hard thing to be able to, you know, go through that screening process, because there's so many wonderful people in our community that do so many great things.
Yeah, the really awesome part is all the nominations come from members of the community. We don't nominate anybody ourselves, and then in addition to that, the other awesome part is I don't have to make the hard choice. Mm-hmm. We have volunteers from around the community that do that, and they really put a lot of thought into reviewing the applications, and it's a tough decision, so I feel for them, but at the same point, I'm just happy to be out of it.
Awesome. Well, you know, I look forward to, you know, future conversations too, where we get to follow up and talk about how successful, you know, the night is, and talk about that Citizen of the Year and the Business of the Year and all the other wonderful awards that you put out. I know another initiative that you have is a trip planned, correct?
Yeah, well, we try to do every 2 years, but unfortunately it's been about 4 with world events being what they are. But yeah, this October we are organizing a trip to Iceland. We try to change up the location. Previous trips have gone to Italy and I believe Ireland. But ultimately it's an opportunity for people to go on these trips with a group of their peers from Alpena or the general area and really experience a new location that they probably wouldn't get to, and to do that with people from their community.
Yeah, and to expose others that have not maybe had that opportunity to see another culture. And doing that with somebody from our community or friends and family, and even at like a discounted rate, right?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the rates are really controlled by, the flight costs and fuel and everything else. But at the same point, we try to make sure that we have the best rate we can get for anybody that wants to attend. And yeah, it is a great opportunity. I know we always try to visit the local chambers, Chamber of Commerce when we're there and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So for us, it's educational as well as just a good time.
Awesome. And I know that's way out in October of this year, which seems like a million light years away. But, I know you have some other community events that are going on before that time. When's your next grub crawl?
Our grub crawl is always in September. That's an annual event. I don't have the exact date, but you can definitely look forward to that closer to the fall. But between now and then, yeah, we have all kinds. We have our Good Morning Alpena breakfast, our Good Midday Alpena lunches. Them are always great networking opportunities. We try to move them around town. We have, needless to say, our fireworks and everything around the 4th of July. We're going to be helping out with that as well. And we usually try to have some educational series for our members as well, just throughout the year via either social media or some other area that would benefit them, and just they can learn.
Yeah, and that's, as a community that is growing and seeing a lot of progress, and I know that you deal a lot with that, with the economic development, working with some of the staff that works there and the people, but being able to support, young professionals in this community and showing them that, we have that opportunity to grow and to create careers and to come back to Alpena and do some really great things. Some of that is thrown on your lap or your organization, not so much thrown on, but I know you take it in open arms to be able to provide those things.
Absolutely, and that's maybe what separates us from some other chambers in the state, that our bread and butter is really the economic development piece. Whether that's Mike Mahler, our Director of Economic Development, he is fantastic at bringing in new projects and helping existing projects expand, that kind of thing. So, bringing in new business, or whether that's working with our existing businesses. Again, the networking piece, the education, really making sure that we have that business environment where our community and our businesses can thrive. So we try to do any and every element that we can help out with. We try to cover those. Needless to say, we are somewhat limited with our staffing, but we try to help out where we can.
Awesome. Well, Adam, thank you so much for what you do for this community and everything that you are doing every day to, see this community continue growing.
I just appreciate the community letting me do it. We love Alpena, and I'm looking forward to continuing seeing what we can do to benefit the community.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Stay tuned after the break for Catherine Noak from the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena. Hello, welcome back to Talk of the Town. My next guest today is Catherine Noak from the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena. Hi, Kat.
Hi, Brad. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, so I know with the, I see there's, been some articles in the newspaper about different initiatives and things going on with the club that I really want to talk about today. But as the Director of Operations with the Boys and Girls Club, talk a little bit about some of the things that come with a membership with the Boys and Girls Club.
So with our $20 a year membership, it allows for the youth to get a free meal every day. In the summertime, 2 meals. We do a lunch and a snack, a supper in the school year. They get opportunities to so many different programs that are offered, in various areas of focus. So like they might want to learn how to play a sport, and we help teach the fundamentals so that they can try out for that sport. Or if they're really interested in engineering, we have our really awesome STEM program, and we have arts programs, and we always are helping them after school every single day with our Power Hour program so that they can stay ahead and make sure that they are meeting all of the requirements in school too. And that's just a snapshot of what they get. But every day after school, Monday through Friday from 2 to 6, they get a safe and positive place to go with people who care about them. In the summer, it's noon to 6, so we get a whole day pretty much with the kiddos to help them explore and see the opportunities in our community.
How has attendance been at the Boys and Girls Club?
Oh, we are bursting at the seams. I mean, if I feel like a broken record when I'm like, oh, we're pretty much at capacity, but that's amazing. I want all the kids to know that they have a place at the Boys and Girls Club, and we welcome them with open arms. But the attendance has definitely been increasing, and we're at a point where we are seeing more kids than we ever have. We're seeing over our summer hours and our summer attendance in the school year now. So we're so excited to see what summer brings.
You know, and I know just, you know, for working there as well,
yeah.
You know, I can still remember days during the school year where we'd see 50 to 60 kids a day. Now we're seeing that coming off of the Ella White bus.
The designated one that
yes.
we have, yeah.
You know, and I see, you know, there's so many, you know, great things that are happening, you know, with the organization, especially over the last 5-6 years, and especially even within the last 2 years. There's been some, you know, historic movements, some historic, you know, numbers that are coming through, meals served, you know, because I know that's one of the services too, is like you had talked about, is, you know, these kids get fed every day. Mm-hmm. Plus all the resources that go into it. And I know you and the staff have been put so much time and effort into field trips and establishing collaborations and partnerships with the community. How do all these things play into this new building coming up?
Well, this new building will allow us to expand on all of the things and the wonderful things that we're doing in our current location. And we'll be able to reach more youth, more families, because there's so much more space. We're looking at going from like 6,700 square foot to like 23,000. Mm-hmm. And that, I mean, that just, with that size difference tells you alone how much more youth can be served. And there's so many more you know, focused rooms that we're able to program to them and get them, you know, so many more opportunities. We also have been working on the outdoor portion where we actually have a safe playground and a teachable garden and hopefully an outdoor classroom that we can really just bring everything together so they can get so many more opportunities.
Well, and I know you're working really hard too with some of our special needs you know, members that come in that have, you know, some sensory needs, things mm-hmm. of that nature, and coming up with some really cool creative ways and partnerships. I know you're doing, finding some grants to make these things possible.
Yeah, so we have received some grants to create a sensory room, which is extremely important for our youth that have sensory issues, so that they can have a calm, quiet place to go and build coping skills in a safe place so that they can, you know, come back and be able to feel comfortable in a place that's loud and their senses are overstimulated. And that we also have another portion of a grant that is for the outdoors, so we can have sensory things on our playground as well.
Awesome. You know, and, you know, with that all just kind of leading in, you know, about this, I know there's the opportunity for a $50,000 match right now that was presented by, you know, a really wonderful anonymous family from our community that really believes in the work that's being done at the Boys and Girls Club and that you're doing and all the staff is there. You know, why is it so important to support a project like the new building and the Capital campaign at the Boys and Girls Club?
Well, it's so important because the youth are our future. If we're not supporting them, then our community doesn't have a good foundation to build upon. So, you know, I do urge everyone to help us meet our $50,000 and exceed so that we can get that match donation. And we're so grateful that an anonymous donor came forward and is going to help us hopefully finish this project.
Yeah, I know it's about $250,000 left to raise. You know, with this campaign and this initiative, you know, it'll get us a heck of a lot closer. And one of the big things, and I know why we're all scrambling at the end here at this final phase, is that we don't want to take a commercial loan out.
No.
You know, that's our due structure. You know, the structure of our organization isn't to pay commercial loans. Right. You know, we put everything back right back into the community and right back to the kids.
Yep.
So, so I know it's super dire, that we're looking to make this match, which we expect to make this. I mean, this is how we get there. We get there through those $50, $100, maybe even $1,000 donations or larger to get us to that goal.
Yeah, I mean, just anything helps. And yeah, exactly right. We don't like to take anything away from the kids, so those little fees, they add up, and that's a meal served or 10 meals served, and we want to be able to always support the kids that need us most. So.
Well, I know there's so many more things that we could be talking about in this 8 minutes, from teen hours to the bowling fundraiser coming up in April to, all the great things that you and the staff are doing, to get the kids out and exposed to wonderful things in this community. But unfortunately, that's the end of our time. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure getting to work with you every day. I don't know if you could say the same about me, but I feel that way.
Oh yes, absolutely, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah. But I just appreciate you being on the show and talking about the club. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us as we continue this road down the path of our wonderful nonprofits in the community and all the great things that are happening. Stay tuned after the break for the ACC segment.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'd like to bring you up to speed on some events at the college this week. It was a really good week for ACC, and I will just run through some of the things that stick in my mind that I would like to share with you. As we've talked about the last couple of sessions, we had very good enrollment. Number one in the state in both head count, which was up about a little more than 12%, and credit hours, which was up about 8%. And this was first among the 31 community colleges in Michigan. It used to be 28. We've added 3 tribal colleges to our Michigan Community College Association, bringing it to 31. So this is in a very, very challenging enrollment environment. This is really good data, and it speaks well for, the full range of folks at the college and the community support of the college, community's regard for what we're doing, the footprint we have, which is large, the technology we use to get our coursework into classrooms that are very distant, all of it. And so we feel good about that. Graduation rate, we touched on last week. This is a significant metric. We were number 1 among the Michigan community colleges in that as well. This measures, not to get too deep into the weeds of it, but how quickly and completely in 150% of time do first-time, full-time degree-seeking and certificate-seeking students complete or graduate. So we were at 42%, and the next nearest school was at 40%. We're often high, first or in the top 5 in that metric. And so it's nice to finish on the top always. And but for me, I guess, looking at it more longitudinally, which this data allows us to do, I think that's the highest we've ever had. And ultimately, I think you compete with yourself. And the college always, if that metric was exceeded this year, that speaks to a lot of positive things that we're doing to try and help retain students and help them succeed and graduate. That's what graduating and is a big success metric in my mind. So those were 2 really good things. On Wednesday, the governor gave her State of the State address and laying out her vision for the next year. It's interesting in Lansing because for the first time in 40 years, the Senate is Democratic majority, a very thin majority, but a majority nonetheless, and so is the House. both of those have been Republican majorities for quite some time. So it's hard to know how that's going to roll when legislation and appropriations start coming along. But on the surface, it would appear that the governor's vision and the apparatus to put that into law is in lockstep. So at any rate, she was giving her speech, and then she called out Alpena Community College in it, and a nursing program in particular, as a place to get to go and to succeed. And so that was really nice to hear. And then yesterday, Thursday, we had a pretty milestone event at the college. We had a signing ceremony for a memorandum of understanding that we signed with Saginaw Valley State University to work with them, to partner with them, to bring their BSN to our Alpena campus starting in fall 2023. So this has been a years-long effort to try and get a BSN here on site in Alpena, and we've been working, trying to, I don't know, for 8 or 9 legislative cycles to get the authorization to offer it ourselves. We, along with several other small rural community colleges, Bay College in Escanaba, Petoskey, North Central in Petoskey, Northwestern in Traverse City, and us really were pushing the hardest for it. And we couldn't push that through to completion. So at the end of the last legislative cycle, when it was clear that that wasn't going to happen, we began to think about what sort of compromise could we arrive at that would get the outcome we wanted, which was accessible, affordable BSNs for nurses in our community, our region, who could obtain that credential without having to disrupt their lives and go and leave or so we worked through that, and fairly quickly a bill incentivizing that went through and was signed by the governor. This was in the last legislative cycle. So this was good news and success, the way forward. So we worked with, we sent out requests for proposals to every university and college that offers a BSN in this state. We got and asking them whether they wanted to partner with us and the criteria under which that partnership would happen. We got back 7, and the best one by quite a bit was from Saginaw Valley State University. Had a lot to say for their interest, their professionalism, their understanding of Northeast Michigan, and their proximity to Mid-Michigan, or My Michigan, I should say, My Michigan Health System, which Alpena's hospital, the major employer of nurses out of our program, is part of. So they came up yesterday. We had a lovely day. It was in Fitzpatrick Hall, kind of the first real public use of that space. It's a beautiful space. Thanks again to Tim and Sue Fitzpatrick for their donation to make that possible. And it was just a feel-good event, I think, where there was a long haul that you kind of forget when it gets to a win. And we did get to a win. So we've had a number of wins this week, and I feel good about wins. So I hope everyone's well. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production. All rights reserved.